privileged to be part of one of those, two of those exercises when I was there to 2020. One was WHO Montserrado to test the functionality of Montserrado County health teams and facilities. And the other one was at Redemption Hospital to test facility-based how the healthcare workers are prepared in case of emergencies. There have been 3 other subsequent simulation exercises conducted in the counties, which our global partners, PIH and Samaritan Sports, they are also participating. From all these 5 simulation exercises, we had a series of recommendations from the Ministry of Health and NGO, which we have incorporated with all the inputs and support in the ongoing health-focused project, and some of them were already done through the COVID funding of GIZ. So for us, we asked NFIL to guide us, tell us what needs to be done to test the functionality of the health facilities after the IDSR and after the SEPs to see whether these 2 big exercises have brought anything to strengthen the health system in the 3 counties. So for that, we need to go underground, we need to go deeper than what we have been doing for the simulation. We want to do a stressless TTX to see OIC, medical directors, how prepared they are, the DSOs, the CSOs at health facility level. So this involves all of us here. The projected dates given to us by NFIL are from the 13th of February to the 17th of February, which is 45 days. But this involves a lot of planning, right? We need to have the scenarios, we need to have the methodology, we need to have the participants, we need to define their roles and responsibilities, each and every one of us, right? So for that, we are happy that everybody we need for this tentative agenda is here this week in Grand Group. We want to use the opportunity to invite any of you who will be interested to be part of this agenda. The scenario which has been suggested by NFIL and the Ministry of Health is anthrax. We know anthrax, right? We have included it in June in the new list of, reportable diseases, right? We have also included it in the new job aids, not so? Yes. So not only anthrax, we have COVID-19, right? And we have AE, exactly, which means after, exactly. And that is key for COVID. Now that so many people have been vaccinated, I stand to be corrected. Liberia has achieved 70% coverage requested, demanded by WHO. We are happy for that. Not so? So NFIL thought it prudent to use anthrax as the One Health approach to encapsulate the human, animal, and the environmental health. It is a little bit complicated, right? We hope that we are not stretching your capabilities in taking anthrax as a case scenario. We already have experience with Lassa fever and monkeypox. It will have been more what we are looking for because this is county context-based, which we are familiar with. Through your very, very attentive, committed support, you guys were able to single-handedly identify monkeypox in July in Maryland and Lassa fever in November in River G. So nevertheless, let us hear what we all have to say today and agree upon what we are going to do. So for those who might not be able to stay after this exercise we are finishing today, you can nominate somebody from your county who will be representative of you through this agenda, and he or she will communicate whatever decisions we make, and we will try to summarize what we get from this meeting today. Okay? So when we finish with this, we will try to be very fast and then make sure that we have a sort of planning to give you guys more windows of opportunities to be able to plan within your counties. It could be that the dates suggested by Enfield will not be feasible for you because you have other competing activities within your own counties. Also, it is not just project, IP, donor-related activities you are doing. You are also working for the government of Nigeria and the Ministry of Health. And those activities on a daily basis, we have to coordinate, get it. So that's why we are all coming together to see how best we will be able to agree on these dates. When we have these findings from the TTX, we will use them for our joint supportive supervision exercise, which you guys do quarterly, with evaluation observations from Enfield. They are also ready to come to us. Not so, and the spot checks also. So we will use one stick to kill many bats because we don't have the time. And it is also very difficult to organize flights. There will be no flights in February, no flights now. So for those people who are coming for this TTX, projected will be 60 participants, 20 per county, 6 facilitators from Enfield. Mr. Dovin will give you the details, and you will get, all of you will get the agenda so that you can discuss it amongst yourselves. Okay? So that will be the roadmap for today, and I hope we are done. So now we are calling on our presenters. If River G is still unwrapped now, we can take any county which is ready and has already shared their presentations to lead, right? So I'm calling on who wants to start the presentation. Maryland is leading the presentation today, right? From our able CSO of 13 years experience. Let's give him a clap. So thank you very much.
Press I think too.
Yeah. President of all the group. I want to group you.
Oh, you put it really safe.
Okay. Good afternoon again. Also, yesterday we told you that we were going to reserve some comments because we were going to go a little bit into some major activities that were conducted in the country, including our challenges and mitigation strategies for those challenges to be released. Next slide. Also, this is the profile for Meridian County. This is the major map for Meridian County. Next slide. And so, RDSR activities that we conducted in Meridian County for the period looking at total for the entire 2022. We conducted the third edition RDSR training where during the DOT we were able to train at least 31 person at country level. And the rollout at the health facility level, we train 105 persons. So we have the breakdown there as a male and category as well. Then we also conducted at least 4 district level quarterly surveillance meetings. Then we conducted 2 quarterly surveillance meetings. That was from July to December. So we also reactivated our RRT as I told you because the strength from national filters down to county and also from county we go down to the district level. So the 6 RR, the 6 districts in Maryland County health districts, we were also able to have their own RRT meetings to be able to battle any eventualities that come. Okay, next slide. Next one. So as part of the target we have was also to train to conduct the self training in the country. So at the TOT we trained 33 persons at the country level with 2 observers that were there to see the process. Those were observers that came to see what self was. So at the rollout we also trained 118 community health workers, CHW, and these are the breakdown when it comes to gender fight distribution. So the training was conducted at 3 different cities. But then the 3 cities in Plibo we have 2 sites, in Habo we have 2 sites, Kaluken we have 1 area. Then we responded to 3 major outbreaks with 0 case fatality up to present. We also conducted joint investigation of cluster of animal bites in 2 districts, 2 of our health districts, where we have a lot of animal dying as well. Just as yesterday we showed you some of the photos. Next one. And so we were able to organize stakeholder meeting on NNDSR in all of the 6 districts because our impacts now we used to report up to sometimes 18 maternal death, sometimes 10, but at least with the effort of the of this, including the okay, with the effort of this and also engaging the community and their own involvement, Maryland County was able to report at least 4 maternal deaths in 2022. But we are still thinking to cut it down to at least 0. So again, of this NNDSR initiative, we were able to conduct 7 of the meetings in two of the districts with 36 participants. We've also conducted 6 monthly quarterly joint data validation and harmonization at all of the health facilities, where we go to see what's happening, what are the discrepancies in the data that we receive. Because if you don't do this, you will see HMIS capturing huge number of cases that are not reflecting in the RDSR ledger. So we go there to see why these things are happening. Sometimes it depends on some of the diagnosis the people do at the facility. Somebody will go there say AWD, but then the person keeps saying that someone running. They spend 3 hours to the facility. That person has not even asked for the toilet key to know what are the places there. But then the ORC stay capturing acute watery diarrhea. So we try to go there to also tell them that yes, that diarrhea by history. But then you see somebody who severe diarrhea that we are capturing. The person will not have 2-3 hours and sitting down without even going in the restroom. But yet you still see the person's stomach is running. So we 26 facilities and 6 districts are where we did this data harmonization. Then we responded to all alerts and rumors from the community within 24 hours. That is one of the key indicators that we have. We also responded to 3 major outbreaks, as I said, with zero facility, case fatality, where we had those outbreaks were monkeypox, pertussis, and measles. The measles part is still ongoing. I remember 2 weeks ago, Enfield called me. Why is it that the cases are harassing us? But the answer I gave them was because we have trained and deployed the community health structure. So instead of waiting to the facilities to see the cases coming, now people are in the field following those cases because some were not coming to the facilities, but then they are bringing them over. So we say bravo to the partner. So we conducted investigation in Barugo and Kalu with the sea animal death, Nesla. Now, somebody was very much key to knowing this yesterday, right? So these are the target, the achievement, and the comment that we made. So we were to conduct quarterly district and county surveillance meeting during the project, right? So we have done 2 quarters. We had those meetings, and our target was met. So we also came here to say we train at least 2 staff at each health facility. But it would interest you to know that at the health facilities, especially the government facilities, we were able to train 3 persons. That is the surveillance focal person, the ORC, and the CHSS that is assigned. Then at the private facilities, we also train 2 persons because they don't have ORC. So we train the ORC, they don't have CHSS. But we train the ORC and the surveillance focal person that we have identified. So we met that target. Then we were supposed to conduct quarterly surveillance data harmonization at all health facilities. We've done that. We also met our target, even as we speak. But next week we will also be in the field doing that. A lot of run. So to conduct quarterly RTSR supervision at all health facilities. Now we go there. Sometimes we get to go do manual supervision, but this supervision is in depth, where we live from the country level to go and supervise the district and also to supervise the health facility. Instead of just going to Google collect and other things like that. So at that time, the data tools will be filled out, and then decision for that can be, conclusion we can come and create the result to the country, then we can make decision to where we found lapses and mitigation factors can be, strategy can be there. So we are to conduct NGSR meeting in all 6 health districts, but we only in 2 health districts. That means we have met 3% of that target, of that target. Next slide. So this picture came out yesterday. You can go to the next slide. The same thing here yesterday. My sister that generally wanted to know this, I think it was very clear to her yesterday. Next slide. And so with all of these things, the cases that we've reported, we try to distribute them a case specific. So as I said, the measles cases, measles is still somebody was talking, they have 200 cases, and they said they have more cases. We have 417. And now the 2 weeks, get from 3 weeks now in 2023, I tell you we are accounting for over 80 cases as well. So it's no problem that the so-called national is here. You are interested in this document, national, sorry to say, but you are not interested in mitigating this because you will be concerned. That's what the case said. They will thank you. But why? We need to look at that. So it was followed by TB, as we said. Most of the cases concern you. Brainwash, brain flu, most of our TB cases. But they are not all MDR, please. They are not all MDR. And that was followed by human exposure to rabies, the all 5 cases. This case that we reported was dengue fever, 1, we suspected 1. Sample did not come back to tell us. So my chief now was saying yesterday, we see 2 week results. They tell with no results. Next slide. And so, number of cases, we also try to tell you to find the percentages for them, right? So, as I said, AFP reported 3 cases that constituted 0.32%. Measles was the highest, accounting for 44.7%, followed by human exposure to animal bite that gave us 20%, and that's it, is a chair. TB, let's go to the next slide. TB accounted for the 2nd highest, which gave us, next slide please, which gave us 24% of total cases reported in Maryland County in 2023. Next slide. And so, as per the report per district, so you see that yesterday we actually emphasized on Barumo Wuya. This district is populated than this district and also than this district. But then they are accounting for the least number of reports and the least number of cases. So we said yesterday we need to intensify maybe the resulting lacking there. So we need to intensify our supervision to really know what is happening, which has already begun. But this report is for last year. So what we started in 2023 cannot be reflected right here. Next slide. So people were like, why you go borrow Ninja in red? So it was an injustice to them yesterday. So I did it the rightful way, and so they are still lacking here as it relates to family and completeness of things. Next slide. So the many outbreaks, the three major outbreaks we have, actually was to at least just look at one of them, because it will begin to go into them outbreak specific, it will take much of the time. So we'll be looking at the measles outbreak. Next slide. And so this is the epigraph. So you see that in week 10, the measles outbreak did not just start today. It started in week 2 of 2023, epi week 2. We started. Data has been going. Data is going. Data going every week. So, but then, as of right here, when we deploy the guys, the CHBs, after the self-training, you see, we now started to report at least 36, 40 cases a week. So it blew, it claimed the attention of national. They were asking me why, and I told them this is the simple reason. Because all here, it doesn't mean that to be real, that there were no cases here at that time. But then, these are people that could walk to the facilities themselves. So if they don't come. But then at this time of around where we have had the community structure fully working, they will now go and dig out the cases to bring them to the health facilities. So you will see that the graph will keep going up. So let's start. Now, we try to look at them by age, sex, age, and vaccination status. So for the sex distribution, we have male accounting for the least, while female accounting for 54%. So the women they say anything less, you are going to see. Now the age distribution, below 1 year, they accounted for 7.6%, 1 to 4 years, 68%, above 5, 24%. So you see that even the above 5, there are pregnant women, people in 25, 60, 70 are still coming down with measles in the country. Now looking at the huge, even let's look at the vaccination status. People that are vaccinated, they are accounting for the higher proportion. Now the question comes, why? Why? How potent is the vaccine we are giving? If the vaccine is very potent enough, are we giving it the right way? Something is going somewhere. Yes. So there's calls for real investigation and research to be done. So Dr. Mariano, we are asking you to please support us to do this. Why people who are fully vaccinated against measles still coming down with measles? Now, there are people that are vaccinated by history. Macha took the vaccine, even that campaign again, they took it. So those people, they were 134 that accounted for 33%. People who are not vaccinated at all, they say we are not vaccinated. You ask them every question, they say we never took the vaccine. And now some of these people, they will say that and you may believe it because at that time there was a breakdown into the EPR system during the height of the COVID. When the COVID was really hard, nobody wanted to even visit any health facility. So at that time, some of the children, they were already at the time they're supposed to take their vaccine. Next slide. Now, what are some of the interventions that we've done to contain the outbreak? Community engagement meetings, very much essential, because you cannot just walk in the people community and when they are not part of your program, it will become a failure. Now, isolation and treatment of all patients. We isolate them, we treat them. Now, provision of psychosocial support for patients. When they come to the place, we're not just putting them there, but we will give them psychosocial support. Multi-sectoral collaboration. We have our IMS meeting involving all land ministries and agencies that are part of the IMS, I mean the One Health platform. Provision of food and other social packages. They came down during the COVID time and said wanted to become a COVID patient because partner here we gave somebody put $90, they gave them pepper red side. Why we have money we hungry. So as a patient, they say no. So motivation of service provider, just by you not on salary, even it will not give you much money, but at the time they will motivate you. The motivation could be verbal, it could be anything kind and any other thing, but they are motivated whenever they want to work. Next slide. So logistics and supplies. Now, logistical support. We receive monthly gasoline support from Partner in Health, monthly communication cards, monthly motorcycle or motorbike maintenance support. Very little. Stationary supply. This supply, if you see, I think monthly because we receive it one time. Logistical support for other emergency. When there are any emergency in the country, so now we rush to PIH. We say even though this one is not there, but please help us. Now they will make sure, even when I put gallon of gasoline, they will put it in the motorbike to ensure that you guys respond adequately to that emergency. Next slide. Achievements. So we said we participated or we conducted a self-training successfully, even the RDSR. We have also investigated this. It was a success. We take it to be success because this is where the One Health platform operated or responded as a unit, as one whole. Monthly meeting with community health structure to discuss self activities. At least one health professional, staff 3 in RDSR in all of the health facilities. At least we say at least because staff attrition. Same with the training, I think 1 or 2 ORCs have left. Data validation, containment of the outbreaks without any death. Timely detection of monkeypox. The monkeypox that was positive when the person came from Cote d'Ivoire. When they arrived at the border, they did not come to the main border, they passed through one of our borders. When they died there, because of the collaboration, the immigration guy was able to call the CHA in that community. And they put the man, the nation, the immigration people gave the motorbike rider a report to ride, and they told him, go carry the man to Clivo Health Center because car don't go down there. He carry the man to Clivo Health Center. He shouldn't stop anywhere. Carry him, and they brought him straight there, collected his sample. He was positive. This is a Liberian, but he resides in Cote d'Ivoire. So it was successful for us. And collaboration or implementation of the One Health platform is one of our achievements in the next slide. So involvement of district, like the district data collects, they help us to also structure our data collection tools depending on the result we want from that particular activity. Collaboration with community-based organizations, all the community-based organizations in the country. They come to come, we have meeting every time, we give them, or PRH is also giving them little support. That the support may not come from this grant, but what we are saying, we are doing One Health. So what happens? Next slide. What are the key drivers to this success? I'm talking about the common drivers. And so the presence of Partner in Health in Meridian County without whom total health disaster for Southeastern Liberia. So we say bravo to Partner in Health. You get your patient in TD, the patient on there, they are paying you, if I thought they pay you the money, caterer, the caretaker, during an outbreak, COVID-19 time, they will leave money with your family and carry you in isolation. So you see how good it was. That was based upon that Meridian recorded the highest number of COVID cases in Liberia next to Mosurado. Chia, we say bravo to you, madam. Support. Our CHO, very, very friendly. You go to him, he's accessible. You go to him, you talk to him anytime you want advice, he give it to you. So that is what they want here. The CSO that before you, in terms of service, time in service, no equal yet. They are all my trainees. So, okay, next slide. Okay, now we have these challenges, and what we think can be mitigating strategies for us. Number one, we say limited stationary support. As I said, we receive stationary by only one time since the project started. All right, now to mitigate this, we say partner to increase stationary support for RDSR activity. What will it do? It will help us to ensure efficiency of RTSR tools at all levels, because the supervision tools will bring it enough and put it to the district, in the health facilities, even at the community level. Limited support for surveillance officers will do by. So the motorcycle repair again that we have received on a monthly basis, they cannot buy you one crankshaft for your motorbike. They can only buy you the tire that you used to. Because the bike tire we use courses, one of the tire would be $65 or $80 in the real country. So they cannot make it. When your motor was spot, the support is made for stroke oil, spark plug, and engine oil. So we say constant low reporting by this Moja district. It was a challenge at that time, but for 2023, because of the intervention of the county leadership and also the intense supervision at that facility, we are getting there. So we said when we do this one, Barrow Moja will be able to reach at the 100%. At national level, we set it at 80, but in a country, at country level, we set it at 100. All of your facilities should report to us on that day. Next slide. So we said limited support for outbreak response. So we talk about responders movement. We talk about ambulance, FANLAS, the inter-action review, the after-action review, and psychosocial and other supports we needed. I'm saying here to say that this grant or this project does not support some of these things you're looking at. So at times, people that are going to do in a ED or in a treatment unit, they want something, we have to go. If you go through the budget last time, they will tell you to look there. Nothing there. The things that they are for case detection. So PRS will have to go screen around along with that helping to see if they can get something to at least give the people lunch that day, and which they are motivated by that because of somebody can give you $1, but the word behind it can motivate you. So we also say let's say NFIL, MOH, and partner to include outbreak response in their budget. When there will be an extension for this project, which we pray every government ministry all right, it will motivate responders to adequately and timely contain any outbreak. We say lack of functional computers for 2 of the DSOs. So we want the 2 DSOs to be considered by our donor, so they can get new computers, so it can ensure efficiency of data quality. We say delay of RDSR and self-certificate for the participant. Say the RDSR training work done in July. We have not seen our certificates. Even send the partner. So when we engage our partner, they now say Enfield or China, PRH is saying that you people are the one that are delayed to sign these certificates. So please help us. You'll sign it and send it to us. I'll talk to the GG. All right, thank you very much. So the delay, okay, we said no support for functionality of our isolation units. If you go to Plibo Health Center, you can get part through that. JJ doesn't know the doors. JJ, Plibo Health Center will know the JJ doesn't. All of the doors are broken again. So you see that presently we are using a treatment unit as isolation as well, which is very much dangerous for our patients there. So we are begging national, the donor to please renovate our isolation units because all the Bola countries we are sitting at Carbon. Anything can happen anywhere. We will be the first people to get infected. So we say damaged white bulbs at health facilities. Some of the white bulbs that were given to us 3 years ago, they were very small. But then IPSR TCC had now expanded to where it is now. So all the TCCs can go there. Secondly, some of them have peeled up very small. So we are asking at least to provide bigger size white bulb for all of the health facilities in Maryland County. Then we also talk about delay in sample transportation. Because rather for health, because of donor fatigue, they have cut down their staff and also their pickup points. We find it difficult in some of the facilities where there are samples, so nano sample will stay there a day or two before we can get it up. So we are appealing, saying we have our energetic DSOs to clean up. If Mr. Jabate, if you are giving each other 13 gallons or more, at least to 22 gallons or 25 gallons, so they will be able to bring the samples from where radar cannot reach, so that our samples will be giving us the real result. And that will also ensure our people, in fact, our sample to reach to the lifetime so they can test it. Another one is the lack of sample carriers. We don't have dedicated carriers in the country for sample collection since the radar came in. So sometimes it's not easy. So we will ask if national and her partner can purchase sample carrier for us, new one with phone by everything and send it for us, then we can be able to transport our samples. Next slide. And so we say delay in sample feedback. And Chief Nade comes to you again. Some of the diseases, the dengue fever that we sent last year, we don't got the result. So we hope 2023, I've sent 2 monkeypox samples. We cannot get a result up to now. So please, we want you to tell the lab to please give us a sample, our result time, so it can allow the country to take prompt action based on results. We may be dealing with Ebola, we don't know, and the sample there for 3 years, for 4-5 weeks. Before you get the same result, our health workers are dying. So we said lack of movement for our animal health guys in Maryland County. As we said yesterday, before our colleagues will be following the feed, we will honor ride the cost. So it's strenuous for us. Then lack of sample collection tools. For them, this is specifically for the animal guys. They don't have sample collection tools. So our chief now and your colleagues, your team, we want you to please inform your colleagues at national level so that at least the MOA will be able to help the guys, especially looking at our condition and where we are in outbreak of animal death. We don't know what is killing killing those animals. So they also don't have employed. They are not employed. They are not even on incentive. So all these things, this particular slide, Chief Nat, I want you and your colleagues to really look at this slide and see whether you can carry and so your people can work on it at national level. So they don't have training opportunity. We can call them American, we'll get small training. Then they can. But one day I told them, why not coming for training 2023, I will not come about training. Yeah. So we recommend this recommendation for the 3 years old that at the end of the project at Maria, the DESCO, GB now back and then one go to money. We share our experiences with us. And so we want the donor to consider purchasing of motorbikes for us. Some of the motorbikes have been bikes that we receive, in fact, all of that is received from donor. The donor will use it when the project ends and they get a full motorbike. We want you here to please help us. We are just serving in Maryland. at least serving everybody, if I did 3 countries. So at least, if we are 3 at 21 motor bikes, you can buy it for us. So they do not want you to make your budget flexible. There are times you want to do something, and the budget flexibility, it should also take into consideration the staff welfare. I said bravo to you. I had an accident. I was in Monrovia. We had something to do here. I talked to Monrovia. Please, I cannot ride Monrovia because of my health. Please carry me. We get some budget over there. You're still helping discussing with the governor. He said no. I got a crack behind you. You talk to Samaritan Press to plan it, right? So when you could make the budget flexible, so at least they will be able to do some of these things. So, and we also want the animal health sector to lead some of the talk shows, the radio talk shows that we are having. So we are also saying the CDOs, that is the county diagnostic officers in everybody, Braintree and Maryland County, to be able to help us to strengthen their collaboration in sharing the MDR information, because this is not just an ordinary TB. So at least when we get one NDR in Maryland, and the person lives in that country, to pass the information to the surveillance officer there, so they will be able to at least. So the donor, you must also support this regional meeting. Yeah, this regional meeting. I think it will help us a lot. Now from here we are learning new things. It is for the people get to that know that I'm the most experienced. Next time. So these are some of the photos. Yeah, these are some of. And I say I'm going to retire you. Okay, so these are the photos from our activities. Let's start. Oh, it's not bad. Let's keep going. So we say thank you very much for your attention.
So is that all for the most experienced CSO? I think he did a brilliant job, also. He spoke not only on behalf of his county, he spoke on behalf of all of us also. I took a lot of notes, which I will not go through because it will take a long time. But my key takeaway is those recommendations and those challenges he outlined, they go across the 3 counties, most of them, right? Yeah. And they are addressed to 3 entities. Enfield, Ministry of Health, implementing partners, and yes, and the Ministry of Agriculture, right? So, and of course, GIZ and Health Focus. So I will suggest the following. I stand to be corrected. We will direct these challenges to these 3 entities, no, 4 entities. The One Health platform, right? Yes. The Ministry of Agriculture, National Public Health Institute, and Ministry of Health, and of course GIZ and Health Focus. Each of these entities should address those challenges which are directly affected or where they think they can give in their inputs. So once we get their feedback, we will definitely convene another big meeting and give you that feedback. At least we will try to see which roles and responsibilities, including timelines, what these different entities will do to address these challenges he has just outlined. I think they are very serious challenges, right? And we take them very seriously. So, if anybody has any questions to what he has just said or any comments, just very briefly, I see Director Lasana. That was his county, and we give him the chance to give his own input towards this presentation. I would also say thank you very much to him for bringing up the tuberculosis issue in the counties. Yes, we got the message. We do have a tuberculosis unit in Maryland, but this unit will also be used by the two other counties or other counties as an out of so we hope that message is also been heard by NFIL to see how best we can collaborate efforts and coordinate them so that the benefits of those efforts will be shared, by the counties themselves. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So, the expert did a great presentation. I just want to add to it. I'm sure this is more like for the CHOs and also for Ministry of Health. It's so alarming that every time we have succulent meeting, we explain or we document and share information on maternal and newborn death. But beyond that, what needs to be happening? Sometimes I feel that the information we're sharing is about life that have gone. And something needs to be happening so that we can curtail it. For example, what we do now in Maryland, every maternal death and neonatal death, when the committee do the review, the one you call audit, action points are drawn from there. And those action points that are drawn from the review, they are being placed in two categories. One has to do with clinical action point. At the hospital facility level, what needs to be done? And then at the community level, what needs to be done? So most of the time, we have been able to engage the community. For example, if we have a death, and the death was resulted to delay in bringing the patient to the facility, after some time, we go to that community, bring the stakeholders together, discuss with them, make them to understand the fault, not blaming single person. At the end of the day, we even help them to design strategy. What needs to be done to avoid that? That is at the community level. But at the facility level, we are yet to see what's supposed to be done. Because some of those things at the facility level will be negligent to staff. And if something is negligent to someone, the person should have a sense of correction. But nothing is being done. It's been left like that. How will those staff or how will the reason at the facility try to, if the CHOs are here, we need them to join us. Because some of those things will happen that there is no particular protocol for specific action. So that protocol is supposed to be doing, that particular staff who did not do ABCD need to be mentored to do that next time. Other than that, just documenting them and the same staff, next time another patient come, another patient die. And I know all of us here is very painful to recall, to talk about death, because we know what it means. Talking about other people's death is painful. We who are alive, what do we do to correct that? So we need to make sure that the three CHO, if this can be their own action point, community will do their part, but effort, delay, condition, consequences that led to that death, that is responsibility of the facility, there should be an action point how to address some of them. Other than that, we'll continue to get those deaths. It's not found to those people that are dying because of protocol is not there. Certain procedure is not done for the patient. Certain drugs is not available. And then it's painful in that way to the family. So that's why I wanted to bring to our attention. We can make it as an action point for the CHO so that something should be done for every death. You're not punishing the facility, but that facility, the clinical supervisor should go to that facility, find out if it's protocol, that protocol need to be designed, printed, and taken there. And that particular facility staff need to be mentored so that tomorrow the staff will not do that same thing. Thank you.
I think this is noted. It's a very important message, which all of us should actually be able to take into account in our daily activities, right? So we want to say thank you very much. And now we call the next presenter, Mr. Jimmy Lariban from Brandhill.
Good afternoon. After the beginning, we need to be concerned. Today, I will be taking you straight into the activities of the group. So, again, for us in Brentwood, we are very organized. We believe in procedure. So, exactly, we look through your agenda, we'll go straight into today's activities. So, we can move to the next slide. So for the objective of today's meeting, we'll be able to discuss the strategies and approaches used during the implementation of RDSR activities for the project for the period under review. And at the same time, we'll discuss some of those important lessons that we learned and identify our planned activities and also give necessary recommendations to GIZ, Health Focus, Samaritan Corps, and that of National, which is the Ministry of Health and the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. Next slide. So, more strictly to our strategy and approaches that we use for those major achievements. So, according to our yesterday presentation, we told you that we're able to maintain 100% of timeliness and completeness of reporting at facility level, at district level, and at county level. And how did we achieve this? So, one, we have the distribution of communication cards to the end user. So we know that our implementing partners are providing cards, communication cards, so that we can be able to communicate at all the levels. So when these cards are made available, we distribute them to the facility, we distribute them to the district, and that the county so that they can be able to report RDSR data in town. The second strategy that is used is the constant reminders of surveillance officers at all levels. It's our responsibility as leaders to keep informing our people on those things that need to be done and done correctly. So as county surveillance officer, as district surveillance officer, we often remind people on what should be done at what point in time. So you notice that many times, even if I'm supposed to receive report from a district surveillance officer by 5 o'clock or before 5 o'clock, and I notice that the time is getting closer, I keep reminding them, and they also do the same at their level. The next one is we also establish chat rooms at all levels. So in Brentwood here, you notice that all of the health districts have their chat rooms. Training district open chat room where they can be able to easily send their report. And also have some for Baby district, Draft district, WAP, and the rest. So it's one of the key things that helping to contribute to what? The timely submission of our RDSR report. And we also give the pressure and motivate our staff at all levels. So most often during our surveillance performance review meeting, we give certificates to people who have performed well, and also give cash awards. These are things that we do in Brentwood, and we hope that other counties will do the same. So again, we also take action against violators. So that's why we report the good practice, and we notice that because in every organization there are people who will violate. So at the end of the day, if you are supposed to send report and remind you over and over, and are in the act of sending report late in the day, we take the necessary action so that it can stop you from doing what is not good for our system. Moving forward, we have the proper documentation of RDSR activities at all levels. At the county level, we believe in documentation because RDSR documentation is very key when it comes to RDSR. At district level, we do the same at facility level. And how are we achieving this? One, we talk about the provision of our bulletin boards. All of our facilities, you go there, you see bulletin boards. And we'll show you photos of some of these things. We have a provision of our cupboard. We have cupboards so that they can be able to store all of the words. the different investigation forms. And it's helping us greatly. We also have stationary supplies. We supply stationery that partners gave us. We gave pens, we gave notepads, we gave posters, we gave markers, we gave Rudolph, and so on. So these things are helping so that our surveillance officer can be able to document all surveillance activities at their individual levels. We have regular auditing and feedback of RDSR deliverables. So, as part of our function, we carry data audit, we carry data harmonization, and we provide feedback so that those things that needed to be documented, if they are not, we can do the necessary correction. And we also have scorecard. This will surprise you, but Greenfield is one of the counties, as I said, we are very unique and organized in our work. So we have scorecard for DSOs. If you are not performing, your scorecard will tell you what you need to do and at what point in time they need to be done. And we'll show you picture of some of these scorecards so that you can take it to your county so that you can help you improve your system. Again, we have organized leadership from the county level down to the community level. We are organized. And you will see them as we go on, some of the organizations. So you go to a CSO office, to the district health office, and you'll see it just flow down. That's a normal routine for us. So we'll continue. The next thing is we're able to achieve it containing 2 episodes of a Tuesday outbreak. And how did we got there? One, we have staff who are willing to work. You know, as we said previously, when people are motivated to work, they will do their best. So we have our staff, they are willing to work. We have a very young team. You know, our evidence in this room, you see that all of our surveillance officers, they are very energetic, they are young, and they have the kind of force that we need to move as surveillance officers. And we are coordinated, we have a coordinated team. So one of the best practices I think you can take to your district. If one district is affected, the other district move in. So for instance, we'll have an outbreak in Barclayville district. Despite other districts are not affected, but we'll take DSO from other districts, they join the Barclayville health team so that we all can move in the field with speed and aggression. And it's helping us greatly. We also carry our regular inventory on drugs at the drug facility. And the reason for doing this is that sometimes we are lacking of drugs, especially during response time. You know, the county, we have a response plan, and we have, EPR plan. If you go through it's a comprehensive document. If you go through this document, you understand that we have mapped all of those areas that we often, observe outbreaks. And at the same time, those diseases that often occur, those epidemic-prone diseases, we already know them. They're in Greenfield. Year in, year out, we must experience measles outbreak. We must experience yellow fever, meningitis, just like that. So we know the kind of problem we have here. So we have a contingency plan. In that plan, we have medication, which is very key. But we are not achieving some of these things because of the lack of support. So one of the things is that we can want eventually recruit or bring drugs from drug facilities that that are sufficient, and then we use some of these drugs in the field. And at some point in time, when the county is overwhelmed, we also move to the neighboring county to see what they have sufficient and what they can give us, in order to help us respond. So we have support also coming from our county, from other partners, like state. At times we're moving the field during outbreak, we ask them during our incident management meeting or coordination meeting. Some of them provide gasoline, some of them provide scratch card, two-stroke or engine oil. So it's half state. We have, RRC also helping us in terms of outbreak response. We also have breakthrough action that carry on, the risks, on the health promotion aspect of it. At the same time, we have our community coordination. Our communities are well coordinated. And during outbreak or during emergency, they give us the kind of support that we need in order to combat those things. Next slide. So again, we continue for the next episode of measles outbreak, and the same strategy continue with the outbreak. So we're able to set up our structure at 3 of the new facilities, the GVL, the TALU, and the Ponoken Clinic. And how did we achieve that? After the RDSR training, we noticed that people have enough knowledge, so they needed the kind of working tools that they need in order to carry on the work. So we provided RDSR reporting tools. So all of the new facilities, including the old ones, they have investigation forms, the different kind of investigation forms. We printed them and we distributed them. We also distributed our sample collection kits so that people cannot say, I did not collect sample because there were no collection kits. We also gave bulletin boards so that those things that need to be placed on the wall, they are made available, and also provide stationery for all of them. So because of these items, that we gave them, they have started to get busy with our activities. And also improve our case detection. We are not criticizing, others, but if you compare the population of Greenville County and that of other county with our case detection, you understand that other counties need to do more. They are not working. So, so how did we achieve? We had a comprehensive and intensive ADSR and self-training. So people after training, they have new knowledge. They're able to identify cases by using the case definition and other things. So these things help to increase our case detection. We also have regular joint supported supervision and ADSR data spot check. So through these activities, we also identify other cases that are not reported. We also keep clinicians on the guard of reporting these cases. So it also contributes to our case detection. We also have regular community engagement meetings and HLDC meetings. Now I can tell you, besides community health promoters, there are other people in the community that can identify ADSR cases. Yes, because often we interact with them, we tell the kind of cases that we are looking for. So when they see at the other community, we report it to the facility. So it also contributes to increase our case detection in Greenville County. So the next thing I want to emphasize on how to do about the incentive payment of our community health promoters. From the time we train CHPs in November and we told them that your work starts now, start reporting. All the communities that are actually engaged when it comes to searching for priority diseases. And they are engaged because they have a hope that at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, there will be one way or the other motivated. So the incentive payment is one of the key, driver towards our case detection, especially at the level of the community. So also rationalizing the support given to us from GIZ Health Focus through our implementing partner SP, and also contributing to the increased case detection. If surveillance officer is giving support for inflexible work, we ensure that whatever support that is received by that surveillance officer to be utilized fully, not for different reasons or purpose. Can we move? So to continue our major achievements, we were able to train 15 staff in 10 division ADSR, including doctors, nurses, PAs, midwives, lab technicians, and assistants. And how did we achieve this? Is because of the support that we got from GIZ and Health Focus and the collaborative effort for the implementing partner SP, MPhil, and the Greenville County Health Team. And the same continue with our self-training. Can we move? So there are a lot of lessons that we learned for these activities. But I'll just drive through the major ones. One, how to do what? Data analysis and interpretation. And it's one of our strengths. Because through our data analysis, we have been able to timely detect outbreaks. So Greenville is a kind of county that almost every quarter was responding to outbreaks, different outbreaks. And we also have reinforcement of vigorous active case finding or search. So at all levels, we have reinforced our case finding or case search at the community level and at the facility level. And the evidence are there by those data that we have been presenting for the past time. So have community engagement meeting and HLDC meeting. It's also one of the best practices that we have, where a lot of blessing from. Through this meeting, we now can tell our audience that our community members are fully involved in ADSR activities, and they are actually identifying and reporting cases to the nearby facility. Early case detection and response, I'm talking about it. Coordination at county and district level. The county is well organized, it will coordinate at all levels. Motivation and appraisal is one of the things that actually helping the county in terms of the kind of work that our people are doing. And people need to be motivated at all levels. That the Southeast is a kind of a difficult terrain to work in. So when people leave their people don't come here, if they're not motivated to work, you not get much from them. Not that they don't know, sometimes they know, but the way supervisor, engage or approach, or some supervisor, if they are giving support for staff and then they take it for their own use and things, these are things that demotivate staff. So for us, we don't believe in these things. If we suppose to be $500 card, at the end of the month, we make sure you see that card. And it should be used for its intended purpose. And we also have teamwork. As I said, we have a young team from the CHO down. in the country. You see that everybody is very young and energetic. So most of them, we have to put our tackle aside and get engaged with the work. So this thing will actually helping us. So we want to continue with other activities that we think is necessary for this project. And one has to do with the Monday John supported supervision. Another one has to do with the continuum Monday ADSR data spot check, community engagement meetings, and HRDC meetings. These are activities that we think is necessary for the county, and the panel should keep supporting them because it's deliver the kind of result that we need in the county. We also want to continue with our Monday or quarterly sovereign performance review meeting at all levels, district level and county level. We want to continue with the CHP incentive payment. Once they are heard that they will be receiving a little thing, though it's not much, but they appreciate it, and they have a zeal to work. So we don't want to continue after a few months, then we see these things cut off. It will cause serious impediments for the county. So we hope that the panel and the donor will take note of some of these things. Also, and affecting them. Let's move. So, also in the project time frame, we want to conduct the stimulation exercises in one of the 5 districts. So for these exercises, we'll be able to identify some of the major gaps when it comes to ADSR implementation in Greenfield County. We also want to conduct refresher training, especially on data analysis and interpretation, where our DSOs, our DHOs, our OICs, some of them will refresh themselves and do a better job. Also, we want to set up ADSR structure at Borough Newtown. This is one of the difficult or how to reach me that we have in Greenfield. It's also located across the double roads, and at the same time, we are planning to our cash awards and certificate for best performing facilities in district. So recommendation, what are we recommending to the partners, to the donor and the consortium, which is helpful for us? So say we want you to continue something, and we want you to support outbreak response activities. Greenfield is one of the counties that is difficult, that has difficult terrain, difficult to reach, and it's a county that you see that because of the kind of vigilant surveillance team that we have, every time we are in an outbreak, because our case detection at all levels is improving. So when we identify cases and some of the cases resorting to outbreak, we need to have the kind of support that we need in order to work with speed, or else most of our population will be affected. So we are calling GIZ and health focus, including SP, to support the Greenfield County Health Team in terms of our outbreak response activities. So if you go through the project, budget, there's nothing there for outbreak response. So it's difficult, to handle. Sometimes we'll have running situation, we'll have emergency and thing, we'll have nowhere, to look. So we have gathering support for DHOs. DHOs are part of a surveillance team. They are the leaders of the district health team. So if you can't just give support to DSO and there's no support for DHO, it creates problem. So we are asking our donors and partners to please see reason to support the DHO in terms of providing gasoline support. And it should be done monthly or quarterly. So we have a time frame there for the time now. So it says support community engagement meeting and HRDC meeting. These are meetings that are helping the county health team. So when you continue with this kind of support so that our people at the community level, at the facility level can be empowered so that they understand what is surveillance in depth, not just at the surface. We talk about the continual incentive payment for what? CHPs. I want to think that we recommend to the donor. Please, your money is useful in Greenfield County. Maybe other counties are now rationalizing those support just to get a grant. Will give you a better result. Preach. Okay. Also, we are coming to the panel to see reason. Hello. To see reason to provide laptops and motorbikes for our surveillance team. The motorbikes that we are using, they are now roadworthy. We experience constant breakdown, especially in the kind of region. Can you imagine? We have slept in forest just because motorbike broke down. We noticed that doing Wako and those areas there, my parents are about and we slept right on the roof in the forest. The bike we are using, we have used those bikes for more than 3 years in the kind of difficult terrain. So we are appealing to the donor to please see reason. At least before the project comes to an end, that our supplement officer also have the kind of working tool that they need to continue the work. Because you leave us, but the county will still exist and we still have to do the work. So please, we need laughter, we need model back to continue this good project. The timely release of laboratory results, and we are recommending to national to please tell the lab, the reference lab, this is actually affecting us. You cannot collect sample from patients, you cannot give their result. Yeah, and also causing other people to refuse, staff or clinician from collecting sample from other cases and things, because the issue of result in a something that have to look at critically. So the reference lab many times will be outbreak, so now we'll finish responding, patient will be discharged, then they sending result to the county. They also put our clinician in danger, though they are aware of those RPC protocols. So we have a timely provision of CSO and DSO gathering support. So we recommend to the panel, please give our gathering in time, because we want to use this support to give the kind of result you need. And if you don't give our gathering in time, it will impair some of our activities as well. So please, if you so bring it at the end of the month, bring it. If you so bring it at the end of the quarter, when the quarter ends, we also have an issue of isolation, especially in two districts, the double district, where two of the facilities or the two facilities are located across the river. There's no isolation there. And also Grand District. Please, we also recommend that before the project comes to an end, we need to make sure that we have isolation in this area so that it helps contain some of those infectious cases before the ambulance can move in. And we also want you to support the quality management teams at the hospital and the health center. In this project, we will capture the hospital, which is very down as well. But the health center are also key to this meeting. Last project they were involved, so they were trying to improve the other thing when it comes to RPC. For this project, there is no support allocated for them. So we hope that you see reason to support the TMT meeting at the facility, at the hospital and health center level as well. So I told you we have evidence-based surveillance practice in very good. So you see some of the certificates we have of performance review meeting that we give to surveillance focus questions, we give to the district health team. Can we move? See some. So we told you about cover, have this thing that all the facilities where people can be able to store their document, so that whenever we have school father going there, they can have the checking all around. So we have 5 just parallel, makes it other document. It's difficult at times to get what you want. So you see the design of the certificate. Just read this so you can know someone is good morning and morning. And then we will do that. So you see the heading, ministry of health. You see envelope. You see Grenville County Health Team. Certificate of appreciation awarded to our Trent District in recognition of her outstanding performance as the best district during the implementation of RDSR activities for quarter 2, April to June 2022, giving honor our hands and signature this 15th day of August AD 2022, signed by Mr. Jimmy Lava, the county surveillance officer, Grenville County Health Team, and approved by Dr. J. Woody Eswell, the county health officer. So you see, that's the design of certificate. Even if we don't have money with this day, we'll take it back. So, they just, part of our office that we have in Battery is the office of the county surveillance officer. Surveillance office is not a vacuum. It's not a football field where you go and play football. It's area where you go, you see evidence of work that is done at all levels. So you see our bulletin board, now you play on the wall with all the documents and you will see a bulletin board continue. Anything that you want to see, we have it here. Can we move? So continue, we have our share. When my office see share, you see those folders and things. So we want to what? So we want to actually document all of those activities on our IDSR, so that when national program, when extended panel town or donor town, we take DEWA reference to small the support they have been giving us. So we have a scorecard. I told you that we have a scorecard, and we can do it on a quarterly basis. So you see here the scorecard, you see the broad district, and this one the key surveillance indicator. Like for instance, we have our IDSR case reform. At the end of every month, we expect DSOs, all the cases that they have reported within their district, bring copy of those investigation form to what the office of the CSO for party. So you see, July, August, September, all the way going on to December. So for each month, you bring those documents and we file it, and then we put it in green, which means you have submitted. When you see red, mean that it was not submitted or it was late. So you see, so also our supervision plan. We don't give you support just like that. We give our plan, we give you support. So every supervision officer, you have to prepare your monthly supervision plan and prepare your quarterly work plan. So if you submit this document to my office, I'll go to it green. If now you see yourself in red, so that will inform you that you need to do what you're supposed to do as a surveillance officer, not just by taking support and carrying it low. So you see, maintenance debt, so how about total debt? So every district, the number of debt you have, we mark it. If you review it, we mark it. If they were not reviewed, we grade you and then give the overall score. Then they don't have the same. So it's just a design of our scorecard to inform you what are those things that you do and what are those things that you're not doing and you need to work with some speed. So again, one of my recommendations to MPO is that the region is becoming very small for us. So we recommend to MPO that at least all county that need to learn from grant to plan everything, we bring them for some people. So again, we want to take this time to acknowledge the national GIZ, national police, the Ministry of Health, Regional Health, and all the listener partners. So we want to acknowledge your effort for the support you have been giving us. Thank you so much. Thank you, man.
So that was an excellent presentation. We want to say thank you very much and once more we clap for from this presentation and the previous one. So there is a lot of support needed in two categories. I stand to be corrected. I divided them into hardware, which has to do with the infrastructure, right? And then software, which has to do with stationary laptops, with reporting forms, not so, and other key essentials you will need. The second takeaway is very important. That is the motivation of everybody sitting here, including some of our colleagues who are not here today, especially the CHPs. We have trained, they were before called the CHPs, now they are CHPs. So there has to be a certain a type of motivation and an incentive for them to do what they are supposed to do, and for them to be able to use the training, the knowledge, the tools we are providing for them to help protect our communities, right? So my third takeaway is, based on that, we will have to continue to mentor the health facilities at a much higher level. It means we have to pay special attention to health facilities with zero reporting, right? We have to supervise facilities with who don't say anything. We have them, not so. Silent facilities. And of course, we have to also cross-check facilities which are highly reported, right? We do also have them. So those are, for me, the selection criteria we could probably use for our forthcoming JJSB and spot checks. Now, coming back to the incentives, what have we done as supporters of the counties with our implementing partners? We consulted with the Ministry of Health and NFIL. We told them our objectives, what we want to do in the counties, about the trainings we want to do. Yes, there is a community health policy in place. We discussed that with the director of the Ministry of Health. And we presented an incentive package to the Ministry of Health together with our implementing partners, and the Ministry of Health agreed to that. We were also privileged and invited to review and validate the new policy which should be in place, I mean about the community-based event surveillance, which should be in place this February, which precedes another big event whereby Liberia has been chosen to host the international symposium, which GIZ is also funding. So this incentive package, which we gave, or which we proposed and suggested to the ministry and our partners, we had rain gear, heavy duty during the rainy season. We are well aware that it is very difficult to go to these places without any protective gear. We provided that. $25 for the CHPs who are going to work with us in the next 2 months or 3 months, right? We have less than 3 months now. The ministry was asking for $50 if we are going to engage those people also in vaccination campaigns, right? Or immunization campaigns also. But these immunization and vaccination campaigns have already been taken care of by the COVID funding. The last incentive package, the last item in this incentive package is about acknowledging highly performing counties, right? CHTs. We don't give money, or the partners also agreed, we don't give money individually to people, but we give to the best performing county just to motivate them. And this small incentive we are giving, I think it's $500, right? Per county, every 3 months or every quarter. So this is supposed to complement the efforts of the Ministry of Health and National Public Health Institute in providing items like stationery, right? If they are needed at county level, it's not a lot of money, but at least it shows that we know the constraints you're going through, the sacrifices you're putting, you're risking your life with this difficult terrain to navigate just to make our county safe. So this package was introduced to the Ministry of Health and they agreed upon that. To come back to your appeal, yes, I will personally advocate for that so that we continue to give these incentive packages so that what we are investing in capacity building for strengthening of the health system in our counties will not go in vain. If I know that I have a family to feed, right, I have to risk my life, many rivers to cross, some of them very difficult. So we have to show the people that we are acknowledging what they are doing in the way we are doing it now. So without much ado, if there are no more questions or comments, we go to the next presentation, the last one, and we will invite Mr. Honorable Ben to give the presentation for River G.
What is the
Mantle of authority.
okay? Good afternoon again. So yesterday we were here looking at our planned activity under the project. Hello? 1 minute, please. So yesterday we were here looking at our planned activities under the project, the achievement, and so forth. So today we are restricted to our challenges and the mitigation factors that we deploy either during the project or so for what we'll be doing right after the project so as to keep the system moving. So this is the outline for this brief presentation. We'll be looking at our major challenges. We say major because there are many challenges. So we started to project a few of them. And then we'll be looking at also the mitigation factor our best practices, the lesson learned, recommendation again, those people who help us to mitigate some of our challenges, to reduce the severity. So we try to look at one of our targeted area, which is key to running the surveillance system, that is the provision of stationary and communication support to the EOC and the DHT. We know how important stationary is when it comes to surveillance. You need sheet, you need notepad, you need pencil, and you need them. Because if you don't have them, you will not perform. And also, when cases are detected, you need to communicate the information to the next level. How do you do that? You will do that through the support if you have the communication straight. That is out of a mobile phone, out of a base radio, or through the internet. So the challenges you had during the project, one was limited stationary support. So it was a major problem for us. But yet, we employ our strategy, which we call the mitigation strategy. Though the supply was limited, but we will not sit by and say it is the partner or project that they should give us stationary, and they are not giving info. We wait. No. So we decided to engage other partners. So you saw yesterday in the presentation at the end, we decided to acknowledge other partners. Not only to put in there, but they also play a role, a major role when it comes to the surveillance activity refugee. So then we engage other partners and also CHT to provide stationary. So there we have state, we have RRC and Breakthrough Action, and the officers are there. So we write to them and ask that they should help us mitigate this problem. Though we have a surveillance partner and they are doing their best, but we want you to come in as a partner in the country. So they help us do this, and we hope to continue this when the partner support is over when they are gone, until they get another partner. So delay in receiving the communication support. Yes, the communication support is coming, but there are times you need it. There are times that they set aside to get it, probably because of other things that is on the partner side, and sometimes, like considering our location, our geographical location, the road, those things will be there. Like for the stationary, those things were procured long time, but to get there here was a major problem. So we can wait that SP is supposed to give us communication card through the support of Health Focus. We decided to engage, and that we will continue to do. Engage the CAT to repair our base radio at our various health facility. Some of the health facilities have base radio, but they are down. So to make use of our base radio, our surveillance actor there, the ORC, even the DHO, because most of the district health team, there are some facilities that are closer to them. So when you make your supervision, while waiting for scratch card, you can make use of the base radio. So the County Health team took that recommendation and they repair most of the base radio, and they are continuing that. And we hope to continue this to remind them so that in the absence of the partner support, the CHT can continue to make use of this. They also make use of the EOC. Hello? One minute, please. Also make use of the EOC to submit report and other information to the next level. See the EOC there? The EOC there is almost like it is a hub. So there, Yes, we are getting support from SP when it comes to communication, of cards, and internet support. But there are times that our support will be delayed. So the EOC there will use the internet as a bridge while we wait for our support to send our communication, to communicate other information to other central or to the next level. That's lucky. So printing and dissemination of self RDSR material is another thing. We know that if cases are detected at the community or health facility level, you need a field case-based form. If alerts are reported for the community, they need to be documented. So you will need those paper-based documents so that if they report a case for the community, it will be accompanied by that alert form, and then for the health facility, we have cases there that are case specific. And you will there are specific cases that carry your own case-based form that you need to fill out before sending. So it's key. The person of reporting case-based form at the health facility and the district level, at the district level, where we need to have a buffer, where when the health facility is out, and then the DSO or the DSO can move there and supply the health facility. So this is a challenge. The challenge we have during the implementation of the project, one, limited reporting tools at the DHT and health facility. As I said earlier, we say limited because the health facility had it, some, but the DHT should also be the one like to supply. So you will not only have maybe the 10 and you give up, maybe you got 10. And let's say, for example, you got a health facility to maybe visit all to give all to your friend, then you supply all and get only one. So during supervision, when we see this, we don't consider it as the case being there. Because you have enough, that is the buffer. So that when facilities are out, you should readily supply them. So what we did there, against this challenge, we engage and integrate surveillance activities at the country level. That is, we make use of other partner offices. As we speak, when the project started, we know how a printer, our designated for surveillance activity. Then go for separation press for the key, give us one new one through the support of health focus. So while the printer was there, we were making use of other partner offices to print our case-based forms and send them to health facility, thus mitigating the limited RDSR reporting to the health facility in the district level. And delay the supply of self-reporting tools. As I said earlier, the road condition was a major challenge for us this quarter. We will get the reporting tool for the community level. So it was almost like you were being rationed. Then you gave the little one you have, and then you will have to go back with where else you have to produce again, and then you will get another go to district. So we also make use of it by integrating our activity, not saying that the surveillance unit is or unit by itself, and that everything should be only surveillance. We should go and integrate all our activities. So we decided to put our office into other offices where they will give us the opportunity to do our work. The vice versa, as we speak, our printer will be open up to other programs so that they can do see. Yes. So another key area we decided to look at is support to outbreak response activities. This current project does not look at these activities, support to outbreak response activity, and which is key to surveillance. Because whenever outbreaks are detected and not responded to promptly, they cross from one community to the other, from one district to the other, and then to county, and then from one county into the other. So it's very key. So we decided to include it here as a major challenge for us and for SP and for health focus to CBC in the next project or the project extension, if possible, to consider this as one of our major target activities. So the challenges we have, no support provided for outbreak activity at all. I had the experience just this one November when we confirmed our last successful outbreak. When the outbreak was confirmed, there was no support. We did our plan. Budget partners asked other partners to do a mini budget and sent. We did it, we said it. But no one was able to come. So we couldn't sit and wait. Because if we don't do something, we needed to put something in place that will mitigate, that will reduce the severity of what is going on. So what we did was we engaged other county supervisor and health facility, ORC, and surveillance focal person. And this is not the first time for it to happen in the country. It made personal contribution. Personal contribution, where we provided fuel, took some of the money, we bought fuel or gasoline. We bought the A4 sheet because we're out of it completely. And then some of the ORC and the supervisor willingly went with us in the field for community engagement without any form of transportation reimbursement or you may name it. And they went beyond, they were part of those contacts that were listed. They helped us to follow up those contacts for 21 days and also carry on the community active cases for the extra 21 days to make sure that no case was detected until we declare our outbreak over. So this is one of our mitigating factor, and we hope to continue in the absence of the project or even during the project. So we ask that SP should please consider this as a major project target for us during the next project or the extension. Limited support to the regional isolation. We have the isolation right there at the Fishtown Hospital as the name, as it is named, the regional isolation. So that is that place should be for refugee, should be for Maryland, and should be for Greenville. But during the outbreak of the COVID-19, when you say regional, there should be nurses or support to that isolation from the 3 counties. But it was only the Fishtown Hospital that is already ongoing, staff attrition, having problems with staff, and then those nurses working at Fishtown Hospital were constrained to, at the same time while working in the hospital, working in the isolation unit, the regional isolation unit. So we saw it as a major challenge because it shouldn't be so. But we couldn't wait for other countries to send nurses or maybe the military to support other or extra people from elsewhere to come. But we decided to put in place this mechanism to reduce our outbreak. Next. So for the SEP, that is at the community level. At the community level, we know that SEP is key. Because all of the cases that we are seeing at the health facility, it comes from the community. You will see this servicing at the health facility because they were not detected at the community. If that reported about community health record, the CHP, they themselves will work with the health facility. And so we should always encourage and promote cases of case detection at the community level. So in promoting this, there are a series of things that you need to do. We have community engagement meeting, we have WhatsApp training, we have HFBC meeting. But yet say there were challenges. Delaying support to the HFBC community engagement meeting and support to the CHP number 3. This is a major challenge as we speak in the county. This is a major challenge as we speak in the county. The CHP, they are reporting cases. It's evidenced by the presentation yesterday. Pre-RDS our SEP training and post-RDS our 10th edition SEP training. We saw how case detection from the community level increased. So those CHP, they are yet to receive any form of motivation, but yet they are reporting in the community. They are reporting cases. You saw the targeted HFBC meeting yesterday and the percentage that was supported by the partner. No. So this was what we put in place and what is in place now to mitigate this challenge. We engage community members to make community gardens. We started one of our community is being tested where to support HFBC meeting and other community health activities. Hello? Hi. Hello? Hi. I think we come here to listen to one another. We come here to listen to one another. We are here to listen to one another to learn our best practices so that we can carry it to our communities.
Let's continue to have one meeting, please. I think he has 3 more slides, if I'm correct, right? Mr. Joshua?
Yeah.
And it should be finished in the next 5 minutes.
So engage community members to make community garden to support HFBC meeting. The proceeds for the garden, that is ongoing now. Our community will try it so that what they will get for the garden, use that fund, use the funding there to support the HFBC meeting. They can even take some of the product from that place to prepare food during their meetings. So that is ongoing currently, and we hope to continue it to the other community. Yes. So our best practices and lesson learned. Community engagement meeting involving community stakeholders. Regular HFBC meeting with our partner, with or without partner support. So we have our HFBC and community engagement meeting ongoing. Whether they are supported by partner or not, is our targeted activity that we need to do. So if you see on the right, this is the result from the Putuka Clinic. Putuka Clinic before no one has staff quarter. So the ORC or the nurses that stand there, they used to live in the town with the other the chief house or any other reputable person in the community. But through the HFBC meeting and then the community engagement meeting. The idea came about for the community to produce the local materials, the stage and whatsoever, and then the county come in, other people to build the staff quarter that is on what they call it, construction, and soon to be completed, to be turned over to the county health team. So community engagement meeting continue. This is one of our HFDC meeting in the program I talked about. And then there is a community engagement meeting in Takupen where we have the outbreak of the Lassa fever. And in this meeting, Lassa fever we know is something that requires our animal to go along with us community. So there we have our community and the community animal health record. He was part of this meeting and part of the process. He was with us until the outbreak was declared over. Next. So these are our recommendation few to MOH, LFO, FOGO GRC to provide regular and timely support to outbreak activities. Make sure that RDSR reporting tools should be provided to enhance surveillance activity, as well as stationary should be provided at the start of the project and not where the project will be going to the end, no stationary will be supplied. Provision of the third edition guideline of RDSR at district and health facility level, where will be want to make reference whenever the need arises. There should be funding allocated for outbreak response level. So we'd like to say thank you to Ministry of Health, Samaritan Prayer, UC, all of the partners.
Another very loud clap for Mr. Ben. Such a comprehensive presentation of the county situation, River G, right? So, if you may allow me, I will just briefly go into a few things to set the record straight. I will try what has been said here in the challenges and the difficulties the county has. It seems to me that River G has had basically no support, right? Limited, for me, my language translated, lackluster. There's nothing there. So if I limited something, I'm sugarcoating the situation. It means there is nothing there. So, coming back to COVID-19, GIZ had COVID-19 funds, which were in the 3 districts and beyond. I stand to be corrected, the CSOs, the CHO, and Director Lassana is here, right? As donors, GIZ, Health Focus, USID, IRC, Breakthrough, we are here to support and complement the activities of the government of Liberia, respectively the Ministry of Health and National Public Health Institute, right? So I don't think it is the mandate of any of these donor organizations to fully overtake all the responsibilities concerning the health system in Liberia. We are doing what we can in our capacity, according to our donors and their taxpayers' money, to support as much as we can in those areas where no other organization is going. Not so? No. For the isolation unit, you are witness to that. Myself, SP, and their teams, I was here between 2018 2020. We rehabilitated, refurbished, equipped the isolation facility. We had international consultants who came to us with us. We conducted IBC trainings for the workers. We did not just that, we also initiated a nationwide hepatitis B vaccination campaign. In River G, we personally trained the healthcare workers according to WHO standards to be able to produce their own, bacterial detergents, right? In Monrovia, we have the waste package management. I personally, together with SP, spearheaded the construction of the De Montfort and autoclaves of the Redemption Hospital and the morgue, not so, which are still standing there. We had an audit from the Ministry of Health and Ministry and National Public Health Institute. They made a tour of this facility. It was supposed to be a regional facility. It is a regional isolation unit, which was useful during the COVID outbreak. Also, even Dr. Washington was isolated in that unit, right? To show that it was functioning. Also, so beyond that, we equipped it. We tried to make it multifunctional. And I personally advocated that we are not just going to use or supposed to use the isolation facility as a isolation facility for hemorrhagic fevers, for Ebola, but for diarrhea. We also procured diarrheal beds. So now listen carefully. When I came back in March, I was in River G. I did a rapid situation assessment. He was with me, the CS, Mr. Ben, and I went inside this isolation facility. It was infested with roaches, very dirty, and we have a laundry area, right? We reinstalled the what you call it? Solar systems, the water systems, right? Nothing was functioning. The grass was growing taller than I am. You get the picture? Yeah. So we had a visit of the country director of Sierra Leone and Liberia, the German country director for Sierra Leone and Liberia. Because the German government wants to know where its taxpayers' money is going to. So we initiated a cleaning of the isolation facility environment. My colleagues from Monrovia came to River G Fishtown Hospital to clean, to cut the grass, to make sure that the isolation facility looks presentable, right? So it doesn't mean that because we don't have, thank God, after COVID, no other outbreaks which necessitate the use of the isolation facility, we should leave it in decay, right? We could multi-purpose it to do capacity building. I personally did a TOT in March 2020 before I left. Everything was functional. So for these infrastructural continuous engagements, we think that the CHT and especially the CSO should use the community engagement activities to take care of these facilities, right? Not just fencing their hospitals, but also making sure that this amount of money which has been poured inside is after 2 years not in use. Now he said the health workers were constrained, they were not trained, there were not enough health workers. Not true, I should say, because we had an assessment of the health worker system by then. Dr. Kuba, who is no longer present with us, who has moved forward, spearheaded the technical working group in Monrovia. We calculated how many healthcare workers, nurses will be needed to operate the isolation facility in terms of epidemics. Everybody agreed that we don't have the resources, to train or recruit nurses. We should use those nurses which are there, which we did. This was according to the recommendation of the Ministry of Health and National Public Health Institute. Those nurses who are going to be involved in an outbreak to work in the facilities will have an incentive. It was documented, right? There was no IPC focal person at Fishtown. We identified somebody to be the IPC focal person, Provost Sadaki, right? We trained her, not so, and she was so good and committed that she later was the county IPC representative. So yes, from the donors and implementing partners side, we are doing what we could and what was asked of us to do. So if by any chance there are no A4 papers in the units, there are no scratch cards, there is nothing, then I think we have to rethink our strategy, all of us collectively. It is okay to bring up these issues, but it is also important not just to make, for instance, I was missing a column with comments which specific organizations were involved, who were giving A4 papers to the CHT, for instance, who were giving their pens, who were doing, to at least acknowledge what they were doing, right? So I missed that column, and I also missed that. I'm sorry if I'm taking you through memory lane, but I think we have to set the record straight. Right? I think we have to set the record straight. So SP, I can say that SP is doing what they can, right? And I also miss if we are going through this presentation, please, it's not a critique, it's just comments I'm giving. It's not projected personally to Mr. Ben. He is telling us what his perspective is, which we have to respect. So we have to comment to and take it into consideration, right? So we all have to go back and think strategically how best we will be able to make sure that River G doesn't lag behind. Not so? Because if the CSO is bringing up these issues, it means there are issues we cannot just, wash away with our hand. So I thank you very much, Mr. Ben, for bringing up those issues. They are all noted as talking points and action points, which we will present to our management in Monrovia and also in Germany. And I have to repeat, we cannot solve all problems, but I also appeal to all of us to have a better communication channel amongst us. It appears that River G is not talking to each other within its own community. I don't know. You understand? It's not a critique, but that is an observation. So IB should be informed. The CHO should be informed. They don't have a CHO for 2 months. I think there is a new one. But Mr. Heredo Sinate is always supporting our activities. I think if he knows there are no printers, there are no cartridges, there are no A4 papers, he will actually get himself involved. So thank you very much for bringing that up. I just wanted to straighten up some key points which were raised here. So now I give over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mariano. Yeah,
So thank you very much. Hello. We just want to also tell you thank you for all your efforts. Why it's so true that some of these things are very aired here If it's not bad told, nobody will hear it. So that when you speak it out, you'll be able to look for way forward together. And one thing during the presentations from the Brevard County, because something from Robert G that was very motivating to me, which is the community involvement in developing health facility because of the HFDC meeting. So the HFDC is one health facility development committee. So these people were able to build innovatively to build staff structure. That particular facility has become one of the troublesome facilities in River G. I remember some few time ago they closed it down for 2 to 3 months because there were some things that are going on there. But when the HSBC can be motivated or they can be innovative to come and build things over there, it's part of the successes that we actually expect to see. So it's also good. So we will document everything that has been said. Like that said, and the other people have said, we will look at it and be able to contextualize it and share the report with few people. Then our donor, our consultant head will be able to take it to the higher level. But as I'm happy in the county, we are committed to serving the county based on the mandate given to us and the resources provided to us. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, people. With that said, we are going to we will be calling our representative from the 2 RPs, that is our partner eHealth, Samaritan Press to come and give us our closing remark. We'll begin with Samaritan Press. Partner eHealth is the biggest one. Okay, PI come first. Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon. So, okay. I'll put it there. Oh, another team. Let's go move from there. Yes. So, good afternoon. I know we have been exhausted for the 2 days, but we have learned a lot. There are a lot to take away from here. I believe that when you go back, things will change. Whatever we have learned here today, we may not have known about all those things that are happening. Every time you hear PIA project, sovereign project, but you begin now to get more detail on what are those projects, the activities involved in the project. And you also know that from here, what is your responsibility as a county, as a facility, as a leader in the community? So I think the meeting was very fruitful. We learned a lot, and we also enjoyed the meal. Some of us, for a long time, we left Rankin. This is our old city. We lived here for 4 good years, and economically, at the time we were living here, we're not making much money, but we save a lot because the environment don't tell you what to spend on. Are you still experiencing that? Yeah. So thank you so much for our brothers and sisters that came with us coming from Maryland, and you guys also from Brevard G, and our host, Grant, you did extremely well. And for us, we enjoy it, and we pray and hope that we'll have the repetition, we'll have it again, so that these challenges that we listed here next time, if there are 15, we should have at least 1 or 2, or new ones, not just old ones. And that's the essence of this. So I want to take this time to say thanks to you for making yourself available or coming to have this program to make it a successful one, and also to help us for making the funding available to get all of us here to make sure that we get this knowledge. And back home to say thanks to those partners those individuals who took their taxpayer money and trusted GRZ and trusted health focus and trusted PI and the SP to make sure that we have this successful. Many of you will say, oh, why are they having all of this? These are evidence that the meeting actually took place. So when they see your photo and they want to compare, yes, he's the one on the list. So thank you so much.
All right, sorry for me appearing more than once. On behalf of Samaritan Press, our community director, Nadia Roots, and our program head, we just want to say a big thank you to everyone who came for this purpose. You know, our past two surveillance projects that we are implementing from GRZ, we actually, I actually proposed this setting that we have today. We used to have county level. About a certain point, there was no county level, and later county level came. Then, now we have regional. This regional is also teaching us to be able to learn from our friend. I think right here, if somebody is a fast learner, you will be able to have grabbed something to carry home. The best practices from Grand Group, the best practices from River G and Maryland can be shared across. That is the essence. And whatever we do here for us on Samaritan Prayers, we actually are open to anything, especially when it comes to things that is not going well in the project. Speak to us. And we are not limiting you even to the staff that in the field. You can go beyond the staff in the field. We have our offices open. You can communicate. But one thing that we know is what is being given to us to be given to you, it will be given. But what we also believe in is when you not work, we also have problem with you. So once we work and evidences are there and we're producing results, we'll be able to do so. To all of you that came, River G County Health Team, Grand Group County Health Team, our hosts, we just want to say thank you for your commitment and your time. I know you were to be involved in other activities, but you left it just to come here for us to share together. So whoever are not made friend here, you can make friend this even before you go. So yes. So what we'll also be doing before you make a friend, you have to ask for permission for the Grand Group County Health Team. Otherwise, when you come to me, I'll be hiding somewhere. So we will be having our general group photo to be able to be added to our reports. So thank you ever so much. When it comes to the catering, when it comes to the accommodation, whatever that did not go well, you think it. So we'll say sorry. We will just communicate with all your feedback. We'll be able to improve on it if the opportunity comes for us to host you here once again. But we hope to be better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think one thing we came here for knowledge sharing, but one thing I took from Nigerian police is the aspect of the school cards. The school cards. So as we are cleaning up, as we are cleaning up, we will be. Oh, even the PhD people are still there. So we are going to take new issues. So TSO, as we are hearing about, we're going to be taking who people your hospital. So without much to be said, we'll call on the CHO from River G County to come and give his closing remarks. Yes, there is something to. So those of you who are leaving, prepare you. Hello, gentlemen, those of you who are leaving, please make sure that. So please come for the group photo. Please, if you are not in that group photo, you will have to do it. So we will call since the River G CHO is not here, we'll call the host CHO who will close on behalf of all of the three CHOs. So Dr. Ray, you yeah, you okay. That I beg you, please, sir. So, sorry. So we'll go on Dr. Mariachi to kind of speak. After that, we'll go to Enfield. From Enfield, before we can close, Enfield will go.
So, can we still have one meeting, please?
Hello, before one meeting, you.
Can we still have one meeting, please?
Hello, one meeting. You know they feel like you all.
Can we still have one meeting? Just a few more minutes of your attention, please. I know we are very tired. Nevertheless, I want to say thank you very much to Barclayville City, Grand Group, County, the CHT, which welcomed us here for the umpteenth time. We have been here very frequent and we always receive a very warm welcome from our CHO and his team. I also want to say thank you to all of you still sitting here at this time of the day today on Saturday for your presence. Without you, this would not have been possible. I want to thank the IPs, the IH, the Maritime Sports, the technical team, which we pulled or we were able to ad hoc organize yesterday so that we can have this event live streamed to show our external viewers that we are actually doing something. I want to thank each and every individual for your inputs. And I hope that everything we have said, we have done in the health system in the 3 counties. I wish you all safe trips and a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you very much.
Of Nigeria to come and close this meeting. Give their closing remarks. Then from there we will have that rep. After that, I'm just that closing remark.
I know the Despo won't go now, so we want to say,
Let's have one meeting, please. A few more minutes, please.
I always tell people it's good to start eating, but importantly, is to finish the eating started. So let's please bear a few minutes and close up prayer. Some of these messages will be carried home and show it from here, right? So we want to say, again, joining all of our previous speakers, we want to say thank you for this opportunity for us to meet from national, country level, even those who are in the field implementing it. Sometimes we quote those on their behalf that they are not aware of. All right, we want to say thank you for the patience. Thanks for the hard work that you continue to do. Those recommendations that were made by the 3 counties, we are very keen on them, especially those ones that has to do with the Public Health Institute. We can promise you that from the division, we are going to ensure that all of those recommendations, if we cannot 100% address them, but we will ensure that they be addressed to the level. While we were here, one thing that keeps coming up is the issue of the laboratory results.
Yes.
Right? And I tried staying here, contacted the director for the human health lab. I could not get the veterinary lab colleague. And please, county surveillance officers, those diseases that you suspected and sent sample for, they want me to send the case ID immediately so that they do a follow-up so that we can clear up. Probably some of the results came and we missed out on them. But it's very important, especially the monkeypox cases that we send or samples we send. We need to get the results as soon as possible because we are trying to avoid the spread of diseases in our communities. So please share with us before we leave from here or before you leave for your county, those case IDs so that we can do a quick follow-up on that. Otherwise, we want to say thank you so much for having us here and thanks for the interaction. We hope to meet in the soonest possible time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chief Nat, and we are very much hopeful of to see you, all of problem or recommendation addressed. So with that said, we'll call on Dr. Webb to come and officially close the this meeting. Then we can now all proceed outside there for the food. Thank you very much.
So before that come after the photo, additional participants, you can need to office over there to get your GSA.
All right. Go after the tire phases, and we have been an easy tax. So we want to extend our appreciation to the Ministry of Health and Airfield for creating an avenue to allow our partners to make use of the Southeast, especially in the area of surveillance. That way that GSA has been involved in surveillance. They are also involved in the AMR program, also involving laboratory as well as infrastructure. So we are grateful to GSA for that. Enormous support to the Southeast. And also we will be grateful to several press, always making sure we have things on back. And this meeting was an hour webinar so that we get to know what the various systems, the three systems in the Southeast, how have they been improving their health service. We are grateful to all of you for leaving all of your busy work, leaving your homes to come to Greenwood County. We hope back there treat you well, and we hope to see you another time. Thank you, and may God richly bless you.
We now call on the pledging them, or we'll call on an announcement.
Hello? Can we please stand to honor the word of God?
That's a grand prayer.
Let us bow. Hello? Let us bow. Now, in whose presence our soul tastes delight, we are grateful for another time spent together. A well 2 days spent. And we pray that God will order our steps for those of us that will be traveling by road, and also those of our colleagues that will be traveling by air. We pray for total protection, and we pray that whatever we may have discussed here for fulfillment, our country will be lifted. With these and many other blessings, we ask of thee, now and forevermore. I pray with thanksgiving.
Not yet. I said it was safe.
Hey,
Ìdájọ́.
I'll be showing the paper your computer.
It's okay.
You have photos for me also. Thank
Yeah.
you. Did we save this?
Yeah, this.
Can we go inside so that we can be able?